Too, you can't say in the offseason we're all in. Because you said that last year. You send a message to the entire fan base, and then you're not all in. So that's one thing. Don't set up the fan base by, hey, we're all in. You get everybody excited, and then you don't do anything of relevance.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, we talked about being nuts. Being nuts or going nuts would be not paying Micah Parsons first, not getting that deal done. I agree with Mina wholeheartedly. He's not only the leader on the field, but off the field, he's a guy that's championed the Dallas Cowboys every opportunity he gets a chance to speak. And then I think you go out and you try to talk to John Lynch about acquiring Deebo Samuel, talking to him, will you be in shape? What do you want to do? How do you want to fit into this offense? And now that's a guy that can play running back, a guy that can play receiver, somebody that can be a number 2 and a chess piece off of ceedee. And then when you get into the draft, this gives you flexibility of whether you want to pick someone that helps you run the football or someone that helps you stop the run. For years, Mina and I, Marcus, Dan, we've talked about the fact that they can't stop the run, not built well at linebacker, not built well in the middle of that defense from a defensive tackle perspective, even though you addressed it a couple of years ago in the draft. So if you go get Deebo Samuel, now you build your offense around Dak, and ceedee Lamb, and maybe you can find a way to stop the run in the middle of the field defensively early in the draft.
Another conversation, too, in this division. It's always been the Cowboys and somebody else, right? Especially the last decade. Now it's the Eagles and Commanders and the Cowboys. So keep that in mind on how that develops here in the offseason leading into what they plan on doing in 2025. All right, we're just getting started here today. I'm sorry. Good luck and make a card. Let's play Matchmaker without the swiping. Our first analyst is a diehard Seahawks fan, but she'd rather be lovesick than seasick. And it is Mina Kimes. Our second analyst knows a thing or two about love because he's written a book or two about love, Dan Graziano. And our third analyst first love was the Pits, but now he's winning awards and hearts on the big screen. Welcome, Ryan Clark. Mina, our first analyst, let's start with you. Contestant number 1 has spent some time in colder weather, but he's ready to warm up with some new love. Mina, who is Sam Darnold's perfect match?
Kevin, relationships are all about compatibility, and I think Sam Darnold might actually fit well with the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's why. Darnold showed in Minnesota, give him good pass protection, he can really sling it. And while the Raiders don't have the best offensive line, it's a young group that has talented players. I think they would give him enough time to get the ball in the hands of playmakers like Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers. This does not prohibit them from drafting a quarterback. It just buys them some time and would give Darnold another chance to be a starter for a team that I think would actually want to be with him, not just settle for him.
That is a match only Elvis would love in a small little chapel that has the light on for 24 hours. Contestant number 2 is the ultimate protector of a 2-time MVP, but now maybe looking for a new franchise to protect Roz. Who is Ronnie Stanley's perfect match?
Well, it's great to be wanted, but it's even better sometimes to be needed. And if you watched the Super Bowl, you know the Kansas City Chiefs need some help at left tackle. Once upon a time, they acquired a tackle from the Baltimore Ravens, Orlando Brown. They could repeat that this year on the free agent market. If the Baltimore Ravens don't want Ronnie Stanley back, wouldn't be surprised to see the Chiefs poking around on him in free agency. He would solve a major need of theirs. And of course, not that this isn't true with the Ravens, but every free agent wants to sign with a team that gives them the best chance to win a championship.
And finally, contestant number 3 has been the second choice in Cincinnati, but he's ready to be someone's number 1 and one and only RC, who is the perfect match for T. Higgins.
This may come as a surprise, but I'm going to say the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. And look, it's Valentine's Day, and everybody wants to be the one. But football is different. It's okay to be a QB or a wide receiver polygamist. And with a guy like T. Higgins, he's already been a brother wide receiver along with Jamar Chase. So bring him over with T. Higgins. Yes, he won't get all 7 days, but he may get 4. And on that special night when he's the number 1, he'll get to shine and be on the arms of the great Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, okay. We see that potential love connection. And I'm done with this. There's no doubt that the Bengals have had more success when T. Higgins is available. I peaked in my career, guys. This was it. Bengals went 8-4 when Higgins played last season compared to 1-4 when he didn't. They averaged more points per game, and Joe Burrow averaged 23 more yards per game. And interestingly enough, Jamar Chase loved it when T was there. Look at the numbers, because, of course, the focus of the defense, not just on number 1, it was help there on the other side. So, Graz, We heard Joe Burrow, and let me tell you, if a mic was hot, Joe Burrow was talking all last week on Radio Row, explaining the situation, and he made it sound so easy and simple about, hey, how do we keep the family together here? Is it that simple?
Well, no, obviously, no, it's not that simple, and there's a couple of reasons why. One, what is Joe Burrow actually talking about in terms of his willingness to work with his own contract? Is he willing to give back money the way Aaron Rodgers did when he got?
Have you ever imagined the Dallas Cowboys without Micah Parsons? Sounds crazy, right? But believe it or not, that possibility is becoming a hot topic in 2025. Just last year, we saw how long and painful the contract negotiations were for Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Now it's Micah Parsons' turn, and things are just as complicated. Parsons has made it clear he wants to stay in Dallas. He even says he doesn't need to be the highest paid defender in the league. But let's be real, he's still going to command a massive contract. And that's exactly why trade rumors just won't go away. The big question is, should the Cowboys break the bank for Parsons, or would they be better off trading him for multiple high draft picks? What do you think? Should Dallas pay Parsons or consider a trade? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Coming up next, we break down what NFL insider Albert Breer just revealed, and it changes everything. If you thought the Micah Parsons trade rumors were just speculation, think again. NFL insider Albert Breer just added fuel to the fire, and his report has Cowboys Nation on edge. In his latest breakdown, Breer mentioned that Parsons could demand a jaw-dropping $40 million per season on his next contract. But here's the kicker. He also hinted that the Cowboys might actually listen to trade offers. According to Breer, if a team is willing to pay Parsons that kind of money and give up multiple first-round picks, they should call Dallas right now. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time we've heard whispers about tension between Parsons and the organization. Over the past year, reports of a strained relationship inside the Cowboys building have been hard to ignore. Could that be another reason why Dallas might consider moving him? Now, here's a question for you. If another team offers multiple first-round picks for Parsons, would you take the deal? Yes or no? Let's hear it in the comments. Up next, we dive into Stephen Jones's mindset and why he might actually prefer trading Parsons over paying him. If there's one thing we know about Stephen Jones, is that he hates overpaying for players. And that's a huge factor in this whole Micah Parsons situation. Last season, Jones openly questioned whether handing out massive contracts was the right move. He was especially frustrated watching high-paid stars like Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, and Trevon Diggs sit on the sidelines with injuries. From his perspective, that's a lot of money not making an impact on the field. So here's the dilemma. Does he want to commit $40 million per year to one player, or would he rather spread that money across multiple positions to strengthen the roster? Trading Parsons could mean adding several young, talented players instead of banking everything on one superstar. What would you do if you were in Jones's shoes? Would you rather keep Parsons or use those resources to build a more balanced team? Drop your take in the comments. Now, let's talk about the reality of a Cowboys defense without Micah Parsons. Could they even survive? Let's break it down next. Let's be real. Losing Micah Parsons wouldn't just be a roster change. It would be a massive shift for this defense. Parsons isn't just any player. He's a game changer. His ability to pressure quarterbacks, disrupt plays, and make clutch stops has been the backbone of this defense. Without him, who steps up? DeMarcus Lawrence is still solid, but he's not getting any younger. Young guys like Sam Williams and DeMarvion Overshown have potential, but are they ready to fill that void? On the flip side, trading Parsons could mean multiple first-round picks, cap flexibility, and the ability to build depth across the roster. The question is, does that make the Cowboys better, or does it set them back? So tell me, do you think Dallas can stay competitive without Parsons? Yes or no? Let's settle this in the comments. Now it's time for the big question. Will the Cowboys actually pull the trigger on a trade, or is Parsons here to stay? Let's get into it. After everything we've covered, it's clear. The Cowboys are at a crossroads. On one hand, keeping Parsons means securing one of the best defensive players in the NFL for years to come. But on the other, $40 million per year is a massive commitment, and trading him could reshape the team's future. So, what's the most likely outcome? Right now, Dallas hasn't made any official moves, but the fact that these rumors won't go away is telling. If Stephen Jones truly believes in building a deeper, more balanced roster, don't be shocked if the Cowboys at least listen to offers. Now it's your turn. If you were the Cowboys GM, what would you do? Keep Parsons or trade him? Drop your final verdict in the comments. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of every Cowboys rumor, make sure you're subscribed. We've got plenty more to break down soon.